Welcome back to another episode on the Budget Built Miata presented by Nankang Motorsports and Race Pack. Today we're testing out all those new mods to see if we can get this car to loosen up. As you guys would have seen in the last episode, we've put a bunch of mods on this car to improve its handling. It was understeering a bunch. We want to get rid of that, improve the shifter feel, improve the steering position. So I'm excited to get it out on the track and see how it feels. Before we do that though, I'm going to put the dampers back into the middle of their adjustability range. These are 24-way Fortunato 510. So I'm going to full stiff 24, back them 12 positions out, just start in the middle, a new baseline, go out there and see if we can get this car to loosen up, maybe drift a little bit. By the way, I should mention the new alignment specs that we went with. We went back to Nam and NV Auto, obviously, and he dialed this thing back in with those Super Pro offset bushings and of course the offset front lower ball joints. And we now have that a negative 3.2 front camber that we wanted, and I went with negative 2.4 in the rear, which is a bit more of a stagger than say the spec Miata guys tend to like, but again, I was trying to free the rear end up. And we went with a hair of toe out in the front and zero toe in the rear. Again, the spec Miata guys like a bit of toe in the rear, but I'm trying to free the rear end up, so I left it at zero toe. And we could go to toe out in the rear if we really had to, but I don't think we're gonna have to get that extreme. But we just wanted to give you that quick follow-up on alignment specs. Ready to do this?
Let's go.
All right, we got the track all to ourselves here. Enjoy it while we can. Listen to that ISR performance exhaust.
No, man. I gotta say, the shifter
feels way better.
Like so much better. That was such a huge improvement.
Really was.
In terms of a mod. I wasn't expecting it, and boy, did it kind of blow me away.
Yeah.
What a proper shifter feels like in this car. So if you've got slop in your shifter, or even if you think you might not, this is a worthwhile mod, right?
And it's so cheap and easy to do.
Yeah. EP, it feels stiffer.
It does feel better, yeah. Still got that shake somewhere.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that might be, a lot of people suggest it might be wheel balance, so we might want to get the front wheels rebalanced.
Well, I balance these myself, so that's a good
indicator.
Good enough reason that the car feels better though. Wow, turn-in is way better. Yeah, like there's no understeer there.
And it feels stiffer.
It does feel good.
Holy, it just feels way more planted, right?
Those frame rail braces maybe, eh?
Yeah, wow. I'm liking it.
Oh yeah, a little rev limiter action there. Brakes feel really good too.
Good.
See if we can get it to rotate a bit here. It's still got so much grip.
Yeah.
It is pushing a little bit there.
I felt it there too, yeah.
I'm used to leaving it in third around here. I think we need...
That's fine. This car, the amount of power it makes at 4,000 RPM and 7,000 RPM is this, so...
Yeah, it's true. I didn't check tire pressures yet, so we can play around with some things, see if we can loosen her up a bit, but it feels like it's definitely a better baseline than we had before.
It's so good right now, yeah.
There is some oversteer.
Yeah, if you make trail brake it in, it probably will do what it needs to do.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And it's nice, like it's not too snappy.
Very progressive.
Yeah.
Great.
If you really chuck it in, it wants to rotate. See?
Oh yeah, all right. That's not gonna be a fast line, but...
No, but you can have some fun if you want to chuck it in there, you know?
Yeah.
Where we couldn't do that before.
No.
It was just way too tight. Yeah, see there? It's rotating for me. That's what you really want in the slow corners. It's feeling pretty good, man.
That's good. I think we've got ourselves a bunch of mods that worked out really well.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it.
Thank you to all of you that suggested them once again.
Well, we're off to a good start, but I do want to take a little bit of that push out and just try to free the car up a bit more if we can. So I'm going to soften the front to try to add grip in the front, and I'm going to stiffen the rear to try to take grip away from the rear. I'm taking 4 clicks out in the front, and I'm putting 4 clicks in the rear. Also going to do a tire pressure check and just maybe stagger the pressures a bit again to try to take some grip away from the rear. We just want to make this car a little bit more fun. It's fast right now. We're not going to spoil it with lap times today though, everyone. Pete and I are going to do a head-to-head battle in the next episode where we'll show you lap times. But today we will show you that data on our race pack unit and really give you a good analysis of how that system works and how we can learn from each other as drivers by overlaying our data and having a good look at that.
Yeah, I need some type of advantage here, right?
Oh, you got the advantage of lightness and youth, Peter.
Oh, come on. Says the man with
You're a
so many
trim,
laps.
fit young man.
Of course, of course.
All right, let's get out the tire pressure gauge. I'm just taking some pressure out of the fronts here. They were up to like 32 hot, which sounds about right for a street tire, but we know from having tested on these Nankang NS2Rs before that they like hot pressures in sort of like the 28 to 30 range. So I'm gonna bleed them down to 27 for now, because they'll gain some PSI out on the track. And I'm gonna put the rears maybe 4 PSI higher, again, to just try to take out some rear grip. Quick update on our Corbeau belts here, Peter. Don't you like how easy they are to adjust?
Yeah.
Like I can adjust the waist on this so much they never bind up.
I know, they're really nice like that. I guess that's what happens when you get brand new belts.
Yeah, and
or they're Corbeau. Maybe the material is
material
different.
is.
By the way, how did you like the steering wheel?
I love it.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I think it's a better
closer,
position.
and I don't feel like it's too small. Like I'm not doing a lot of extra steering, so
that's good.
No, I think it's the right size for this car, personally. Oh,
that's yeah. It's like
e-brake,
that's what I was saying. It's like you're backing up. They're just dragging just enough.
Huh. Feel that power.
Feel that noise.
It's a rocket ship. It sounds 50% faster than she really
Exactly.
is.
That's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Shift there. Let's see the brakes here. Yeah, you know what? I like them. They're good.
Yeah,
they work really well.
A bit of nosedive there, but that's because I softened the front up.
Yep. We still have that shake.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a wheel balance, like you said.
Yeah, I think we just stick with that.
Double check that. But it doesn't really affect the driving any, I don't think.
Nope. Yeah, it doesn't love it. Like, see if you get off hard and if you lift really aggressively, then it goes. But like otherwise,
it like that,
yeah, you really got to throw it in there. But
But it does give you some options.
It does
now where it didn't before.
Yep. Let's see here. This corner, it's very typical of oversteer. Oh. I think one of the wheels lost traction there when lifted. But man, it feels like a new car.
It does feel so much better.
It really does. Yeah, it still has a bit of...
That corner makes everything worse.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's an understeering corner for sure. I mean, we're catching a Challenger here, so we're doing okay. Beating up on that Mopar PT.
Go, baby, go! Fourth gear, woo!
Come on, Mopar. Show us what you got.
Yeah, you can lift a little bit and it really regains that push if you need it, so not too bad.
Yeah, I want to be able to steer with the throttle and we can finally do some of that.
Yeah.
You're still never going to like power slide it, but at least you could change the attitude with the steering and the throttle now. Yeah, there you go.
Little trail brake into there and
let it slide.
it certainly does that.
Just all up in this SRT's grill. I love it. Woo. He's got to brake 100 feet earlier than we do.
And he's watching his rearview mirror too much.
He's got a silver missile in his mirrors.
All right, DP. Well, let's give him a little bit of a break.
And right. We don't want to make him crash.
No, and I think, man, it's good. But let's go back and I think try a couple other things and see if we can get this thing to rotate a little bit better.
Sounds good.
I've got a quick trick up my sleeve here.
Okay.
And here is my secret weapon, the stock front sway bar. I know a lot of you do run aftermarket sway bars up front, but I'm thinking going back to the old days where we used to swap stiffer rear sway bars in place, and that would give you all-wheel drive cars a lot of oversteer or front-wheel drive cars. So we're thinking this may do the same, and just like that, our back sway bar is out. So it is time for another session. I've got my fingers crossed that this is gonna work. So what's your prediction here, DP?
I have no idea. I hope it's like scary loose, just to confirm that some big change makes a big difference, right?
That's my hope here.
I mean, the other consideration is these tires are just so sticky and we have so little power that it's just hard to free the car up. It's just on rails.
That may be the deciding factor here.
I think so.
Grip level, right?
But let's find out. We'll chuck it in the corners and hopefully not spin out.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a bit more front body roll.
Oh, I don't know. It's like right there, man. It's so close. It's just...
It's still pretty sticky, eh?
I think there's just so much grip in the rear here. There you go.
I mean, it's the same as before. I had to chuck it in, you know?
It doesn't look like it made a huge difference.
I don't think it really did.
See, it just grips, right? Even when you want to
grips.
to come in at a really fast attack.
Yeah.
It still just bites.
It's just a sticky car, man. Like, it's so fast through here, you just flat out. But it's not really understeering, like it's very neutral now.
It is. That's the upside to it. We're kind of trying to get this car to be an oversteer monster, but it is neutral, which is good. Like, we've just been driving a lot of cars. We've got a lot of experience, but for someone, I feel like that doesn't drive the car a lot, they can hop into this thing.
Yeah.
And feel comfortable in it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's inspiring confidence because it's so grippy.
Yeah.
But it's not going to scare you with oversteer or anything. So, you know, we sadistically want to kind of see some guys spin out, but not going to be easy to get them to do that unless they really chuck it in hard.
Yeah.
Like there, I can get it a little like drop throttle.
If you lift on it. Man,
it's just so grippy.
It sticks so good. It's kind of incredible. It's a good car, man.
Yeah.
There we are.
I mean, it will slide, but even when it slides, it wants to grip back up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the power to like continue to push through. I mean, the differential's still a stock one, so it's not that aggressive either, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if it had both tires that were like working hard, then you might want to do that, but
we don't want to go spend $1,000 on a diff though.
No, and you know what? Like, I think I'm starting to come to terms. Like, it's a really fun car. Like, we're ripping pretty hard here, man, and it feels fun. I think it's going to be a fast car too.
It's just a full throttle car everywhere. Like, it's got so much grip.
It is, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
Well, Pete and I just went and ripped a couple of hot laps each solo, so without a passenger, and wow, what a difference it makes not having
it's incredible.
That extra weight in the car.
It's a totally different car, and it's so good, DP.
It is. It's like rotating where I want it to. It's very drivable everywhere, and it feels way faster without Pete's, you know, strapping 180 pounds in there. I'm sure it felt even faster to you without my 200 plus in there.
It's still slow, but
it is slow, but man, the balance of it is really good.
Yeah.
Now. I'm kind of shocked what a difference it makes having passenger and how much it changed the way the car behaves. It's really, really good now. In fact, I'm willing to call this thing ready to go. I think it's
me too.
It's
like
time we start inviting some YouTubers out.
Yeah, 100%. I think the one small thing that I don't love about the car right now is the differential. Like, it's fighting the tires. The tires are too strong for it.
Yep.
So it kind of has like that turn and the like jumping, the little
locks and releases a little as the tires grip up and release
but
grip.
You know what, that's just an aspect of, I think, driving this car that'll make it even better. So
exactly, it'll challenge people to manage that slip. So I think it's still better than having an open diff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
These tires are so grippy that you have to learn to manage them. But man, what a hoot to
so
drive.
Good. So good.
We each did, I think, a semi-hot lap, you could call it, and we've overlaid our data on our RacePack Vantage software, the D3 app here on our phone. So we're going to do a quick little recap of that now to show you how this all works. So just looking at the RacePack D3 app here, I've overlaid the data for Pete's best lap and my best lap, which were shockingly close, by the way. It was like a 6/100th of a second difference.
Holy smokes.
It's going to be a good battle. Next
episode,
we're going to go head to head and show you the lap times. Today we're not going to spoil the surprise of lap times, but I just wanted to point out how powerful this app is. The way it records the data to your phone, and then if you sign up for their cloud account, it also goes to the cloud. You can add team members to your cloud account so that, say, Peter could be watching at home what data is being recorded. And in fact, it pinged your phone and told you that I was on the track here.
Is live, yeah.
So he could have gone onto his iCloud account and looked at that data as it was happening. So we'll show you that in a future episode. But for now, I'm just doing a quick overlay
and I'm looking at the S's, so turns 3, 4, 5, 6 section, because that's a part of this track that you can often see differences in driving style. And with our lap times being so close, the data traces are almost identical. But if I really zoom in there, I can see that for the entry for turn 4, which is the left into that right-left chicane, that you waited to shift later than I did. So you hung on to second gear longer than I did. I went to third gear sooner than you did, and that gave me better straightaway speed up into turn 6. Now, it only gave me 6/100ths of a second better there, maybe, although you probably made it back somewhere else on the track. But the point is, with this kind of data overlay with 2 drivers, you can really see where a change in driving technique can potentially save you some time. So now that I've given Pete that tip, I'm pretty sure he's going to be shifting earlier into third gear into that chicane. And I'm going to do a little more homework here and find out where he was fast, and I'll try to use some of his methods as well. And of course, if you're just one driver, you can take multiple laps and overlay those, and you can build an ideal lap, or what they call a theoretical fastest lap. And by doing that, you can really see the potential that the car has, and the potential that you have as a driver if you were to drive a perfect lap. And that could be a really helpful way to see, okay, in sector 1, I was really fast. What did I do there? Let me put that with sector 2 from the other lap, and you build this fast lap, and it gives you a target to shoot for. So you can teach yourself how to be a better driver just by overlaying your own laps and looking at the data from those. So,
and the neat thing that I like is it's got the predictive lap timer too, right? So it knows when you're behind, so you're like, all right, I got to hustle a little bit more to get my faster lap.
Yeah,
so,
when you're out on track, once you've crossed the start finish line, it'll be green if you're ahead of your best lap, or it'll be red if you're behind your best lap. So it's giving you that live feedback on the track, which might psych you out if it's red.
It's true.
Or it might over-adrenalize you if you're green, but it's still information that you have to learn to use in an intelligent and crafty way. So lots of power in this unit. Pretty amazing that when we have our guest YouTubers in the car, we can be spying on them while they're out on track, seeing what bad habits they may have or what good habits they have. So I think that's a wrap on this episode, Pete. I'm really happy with the way this car is running. I'm happy with the way our race pack is working. Our Vantage system is and the app is working great. So I think next up, it's time for that head-to-head battle to see which of us can turn the quickest lap in the Miata, and then the YouTubers will start to roll in here and we'll see what they can do for lap times too.
Ready? Yeah. Oh, actually, windows up.
Very slowly. Very slowly. All right.
Okay.
Ready to do this?
Let's go.
All right, we got the track all to ourselves.